Well, welcome back here to Central Coast Sports Complex in beautiful Tuggerah. Still lovely blue skies floating about. Our second last match of the day here, and it's courtesy of the men's 50 division for the Country Championships 2022 for New South Wales Touch. James Preston and Carly Banks in commentary with you. And Carly, very interesting match here between two sides that are from very much a long distance apart, but potentially when it comes to the skill stakes, quite closely intertwined in terms of what they can bring to the table, Taree and also Dubbo.
Yeah, definitely. We've got some people who've played a lot of touch for a long time in this men's 50s age group, and we see a lot of old school skills, that great ball handling skills, and the ability to defend really well, which seems to be a bit of a dying art these days, James. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
Well, they don't make them like they used to, as they say. Now here we come with Dubbo Devils' first use of the ball as it's shifted on here to Davis. Davis drops it off. Now forward they come through Rick Davis, so a couple of Davis boys in there. Now march it back here, trying to invite the defence up to meet them. Of course, if they don't, penalty is what might well occur. Firing it back here and outside of, potentially becoming complete tackle. I would dare say that's a touch.
Yeah, I think you got him. Just.
A little bit ginger after that one as well, so certainly haven't held back in that first defensive set there. Have the Taree Flames. He's a little bit fiery to begin with. But they'll get a chance to launch and attack themselves here from 7 metres out. So they play the ball, and up comes Steve Davis to make the touch. Back towards that short side. Fired from right to left from Hemming. Hemming now shifts it on once more. Options out wide. Touch coming in here on Northam. Another little scurry looking for the likes of Pracey. Away now from Thorne. And Thorne, unfortunately, that ball's been left behind off the back of his pass. A chance for a quick counter-attack here from the Dubbo Devils. Ooh, an opportunity back on the inside. They decided against throwing the ball. Now Crowley is caught. Good touch coming across there from Peter Lake. Ball out in front here of Webster. Webster with the goosey, which you don't see too often in the 50s division. Got to love that.
Yeah, he's one of the more experienced players for the Dubbo Devils, having represented Hunter Western Hornets for a very long time, and had a long stint as the president of the Dubbo Touch Association. So they're lovely people out at Dubbo, and they really put a lot of time and effort into every age group. And yeah, I'm actually going out there in December, James, just before Christmas, to do a school holiday clinic. So I'm looking forward to working with all the kids out at Dubbo. But it's it's a wonderful touch and history. We've had many players come out of Dubbo. So yeah, just shows you how much this sport is all over, like New South Wales, in terms of the talent spread. It's quite exceptional, isn't it, to see so many people from so many different regional areas and locations making their mark in the game.
100% right. It's a wonderful community as well, the touch community. Everybody's very much interconnected, intertwined, and as you can see here today, there's no such thing as being too old to play one of the greatest games that you'll ever discover. I think they might have even said, no, for a moment there I thought they were potentially going to march them 10. Certainly 10 fingers came up as the signal, but play on is the call here.
And I think at the moment the Dubbo boys, they're a little bit lateral on their transitional touches, so now they're starting to get a bit more direct and go forward a little bit there. Yeah, I thought that penalty was going to come for the over-vigorous sort of touch there. He came in and he initiated touch and was a little bit too hard sort of in that. But it's a little bit difficult sometimes because, a lot of these guys would have been used to, not getting their hand out and getting the ball down. And that's been something that's, evolved in our game, over its sort of rich history. So, they're relearning a lot of skills at the senior age level. And what I love is that they're all really happy to embrace, some of the modern tactics and things that we're doing. So we're seeing the Dubbo Devils were going to their sub box, which is obviously a modern day tactic, and it's really good to see. But they're not losing that whole old school ability to be able to use the football and pass and hit holes and contribute to the attack.
Absolutely, and here wrapping around to make that extra man is Ian Burns. hitting the ball at pace, and this is a good little set here from the two, working upfield quite nicely. Davis drops it behind, and now Thomas with good meters on offer. Once more, they charge hard here. It's a lovely little run on this occasion. It will be the last play now, though, 7 metres away from the try line. So a good position to try and launch an attack here. Davis fires it off here to Crowley. Crowley looking for an opening with Burns. Once more, they promote the ball. Little dummy comes in. Oh, good cover defence there from Ether.
Yeah, the Taree Flames are holding their own defensively, aren't they, James? They really, weren't too perturbed by the attack that the Devils threw at them in that set.
So ball played very quickly there from Ian Wilson as he heads to the interchange area. Fresh players onto the pitch now for the Flames. Good meters on offer here too for Thorn. They keep marching forward. They've got a nice little roll on about this set. Last play now though. Oh, geez, that's going to cost them though, just falling off the mark there. Momentum was with them. And in the end, because they've lost a bit of that flow, they just tried to force the issue at the end there.
Yeah, 100%, James. So as you can see, both teams tend to sort of shift the ball sideways a little bit. I'd like to see them straighten up a little bit, and I think they get a little bit more value for their rucking. But they're working really hard in the back end, and this is really good. I mean, that's really good rucking. I think, on 4, they've made that ground. But now when the players come on, it's very important, as you know, to keep the flow and keep going. But they've recovered that situation nicely. Shame he didn't get his hand out and get on the mark, because that was looking like a very promising raid.
Might still be promising here, though, for the Devils. They work it away through Bray, who gives a late flick off, and now Crowley in at acting half on the last. Running out a couple of offside players. Surely that's going to be a penalty. Wow, that's an interesting call there. I didn't think he retreated the required distance, and I would have said equal force applied on that occasion.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, definitely the 7 metres was quite short then, but it's getting late in the day, so the referees have had a very, very busy day. And as we said earlier in the calls, James, like a lot of New South Wales participants hadn't had a lot of touch, so this is a really good lead-in event for everybody coming into the New South Wales Senior State Cup, which is one of the premier events in the world of touch football.
Yeah, it's a terrific event. And of course, you mentioned there in December, it'll be in beautiful Port Macquarie once more. December 2, that's when we start heading up there. And certainly when the day of action is finished and we have those long summer nights as well, we can even head straight from the stadium to nearby Lighthouse Beach. It's a beautiful little spot. Great little place within the world, as is, of course, the Central Coast. And we are live here at Tuggerah with the Dubbo Devils taking on the Taree Flames in the men's 50s division. They'll get another set here, will they? They're just being told, yes, to go back onto the mark and play it. So no extra set to come. Thomas now receives it. Charges straight ahead. Nice quick play, the ball here. Davis into the backfield. Oh, if he had a little look there, Thomas had wrapped around late as a very, very good option to hit a gap, but he just didn't see him and instead opted for that link position once more.
Yeah, he's a likely customer, Rick Davis. I'd love to see him just pin his ears back and just run more a direct line between the two middles and, get himself in the in-goal there, because he certainly show he's got a bit of toe there.
So up over halfway now come the Taree Flames. Of course, Taree not too far away from where that State Cup will be held in Port Macquarie as they crab a crossfield here with Pracey. Eventually they're caught. Last play now. Wiseman comes forward. They're there to meet him once more in defence. And that is one thing, of course, you mentioned at the start of this match. If there's one particular facet of the game that has always been very strong, it's the defensive side of things as the Devils go on the attack here. Thomas is an option back through the middle, but it just misses him. But that's why it's so hard for these two sides to break one another down. They've had, a good 30 years of playing this sport at the top level. They know exactly how to close off the holes. Yeah,
as we said, there's a lot of experience out there, but both of them are very willing opponents, aren't they? They're throwing the kitchen sink at each other here, which is great. I'm loving this game.
It's expansive footy, that's for sure. Wilson drops it off inside the 7 metre mark. You don't see that too often. They've said play on here, have they? Just a little interesting call here for Northam. I thought potentially,
late pass.
In fact, Burns, he might have not quite been onside, but it is the touch pass being called. Now play that on the 7 metre mark.
And this is really good defence now, from the Taree Flames. They're keeping a nice, straight, flat line, and they're really making life difficult now because the Dubbo Devils have changed their point of attack to come through the middle on a direct set.
Well, speaking of coming through the middle, pouring through a gap came Stanger. And He just couldn't find the supporting run there. Popped the pass, was just a little out in front.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they stay with those tactics, James, because that was a really nice direct set from the Dubbo Devils. So here we go, Taree, anything you can do, we can do better. They're coming through the middle as well.
I think both sides might have just discovered the way through and the way forward. It's held out in one hand here from Thorne. Great little release as well on the roll ball from Thorne. Now he's caught last play, and he's decided instead of going for the quick play the ball, he'll just throw it away.
Yeah, he's going home. He's had enough. I hear you, buddy. I hear you.
Tony, we've just given you a rap, mate. And unfortunately, that's ultimately crushed the end of their set there. They actually had something brewing on that particular play. Had they got the strike dump, it would have been on for Taree, but I don't know if he's potentially lost track of the count or what's happened there for Tony Thorne, but decided that was it. I've had my day in the sun. Off I go to the sideline. Here come the Dubbo Devils, though. Neither side able to trouble the scoreboard so far. We've had around about 9 minutes of action to date.
Yeah, they've gone back. This is a really clunky set, isn't it, James? They get a fortuitous penalty here for their foot in the ruck. But yeah, that set of six wasn't going too many places. So I think they'll be very thankful to get that penalty. Let's see if they can do something with this repeat set.
It was Newby who was pinged for the Taree Flames, not releasing in a nice manner, and then instead walking all the way back through the ruck and getting a foot on the ball as it comes out now to Crowley. Crowley, nice quick roll ball. Well, they've overrun the play on that occasion though. So Davis was looming in support. We've identified him as a likely customer for the Devils. Here he is now, Rick, hopping out of dummy half. On to the link in the form of Crowley. Quick hands here. Was that a touch pass? It was a very close run thing.
Here he goes. Here's the setup.
Once more they go.
Oh,
Davis for
Good
Crowley.
work.
Crowley with a cutout pass. Oh, that's beautifully worked. They just managed to strip them for numbers, and Anthony Barnes, nice and wide, puts it down. The Dubbo Devils are on the board.
Yeah, great little piece of play there. They got a bit of flow. It was quite a static play, and then they got themselves into some flow, and then Eugene Bray threw a really nice pass, and found the winger unopposed, and here come the Devils again.
It's interesting as well there you mentioned about just the flow of a particular set. It's not all about managing to work your way upfield with quick momentum. Sometimes you do need to just slow it down a play or two before you launch that final raid with the strike dump. Yeah,
and it's, differing sets, different tempos, different teams like to play, in different styles. But definitely when you create flow and you're running, it makes it so much easier to be able to, get the defence, not in a shape that they're comfortable defending. So you're always trying to move them around like chess pieces on a board, mate.
Certainly there is a bit of a chess about this one. Plenty of strategy across both sides. I don't know what strategy that was, though. It looked like tunnel ball for a moment, taking me back to year 4. However, the Devils now have a chance to work it away from their own end. This is Webster with easy metres on offer. They keep marching forward here through Holland, who's caught about 10 metres shy of the halfway line. Crowley provides it off just for a moment. Thought they might have been pinged for an offside player. He just got back in time. It was Ether who made the touch, and he follows up with the second one in a row. Good pressure coming out of the line, but they promote the ball pretty quickly. Here is Burns. Burns, all good footwork.
Yeah, he's been impressive, as has Steve Davis. He's been one of the main playmakers for the Dubbo Devils. And that was a promising attacking raid that come to naught there. Unfortunate there because they were looking the goods.
So Stanger was caught on the last there, so changeover comes as Wilson rolls it back. Now they look to spread it further wide. Wilson wraps around, gets the head bobbing and puts the foot down. And feigned to call a touch there, trying to just ping their opposition defenders. Weren't falling for it though as the touch comes in from hard-working middle. Another touch on that occasion. So they're trying to work something here, the Flames, and they just can't quite do so. But geez, that's a rough call there. I felt they were shooting up nicely out of the line, but still making that 7 metres.
Yeah, and that is definitely a relieving penalty for the Taree Flames. Let's see if they can mount some pressure down here in the attacking end. They've got plenty of touches up their sleeve, James, so they need to be patient here, and they need to get the right play for the right person here.
Midway through the counters, Thorne drops it off, and now it comes the way of Lees. Lees. And now Thorne again driving hard at the line. They were called to be back on side. Referee right on the spot there. Good call indeed. That's going to be play number 4. So a couple still up their sleeves here, the Taree Flames.
Yeah, and I like the way that the referee explained her ruling there to the players. She was very direct and very firm and explained that the player had gotten back on side. So, yeah, really good comms there from the referee.
Last play here for the Flames. Lees has gone all the way through, has he? And I think he's got the ball to ground.
Yeah, that's a beautiful textbook Rooster play. He took on the offside defender, stepped between the two middles, dived, went himself, and came up with the points. So we're 1-1, James.
Certainly are. Graham Lees with a nice little raid of the line there. Managed to get the ball to ground very quickly. So the pats on the back happen as he comes to the bench. They're all very happy, the Taree boys. Off they are running once more here, the Dubbo Devils. And they'll play at about 20 metres shy of the try line. Hitting it at pace once again. I wish we had the number 6 on our team list here, because he's probably been the strongest performer so far, as Crowley manages to find a gap and goes all the way through. Cameron Crowley, beautiful little deception in the run. He feigned to throw it out to his link partner, just kept it in the 2 hands, and he bolted.
Yeah, it's old school ball playing, isn't it, James, at its very best. And something, you know, a lot of these young kids, it's good looking over in the stands and seeing the, looks like the Maitland 20 boys over there having a bit of a look, and it's good if they're cheering on you know, relatives or friends and stuff like that. It's you can learn a lot from watching, you know, a lot of the old school heroes of our sport play the game. So it's always educational, I think, to to watch and see, you know, just the way that these people are playing, because there's plenty of, you know, really good athletes out there who, look, one-handed pick up there. He's one of my favourites. I love him. He goes to the line, he picks the ball up with one hand, like big mid of his, and off he goes. Love him.
David Hemming, certainly
very
is a very talented player.
It's a very good skill.
Something that I certainly can't do, so he's doing one better than I. Can't even run anymore based on my knees. So hats off to every one of these players out there as they drive forward here, the Dubbo Devils, up over halfway. Quick release of the ball as well. Webster is out there for them. Now it finds its way further wide still. I think they might have played at that ball and pulled it out. Yep, this will be another set to come here for the Dubbo Devils. So they'll get the reinforcements back onto the pitch.
Now this is a very important set of 6 here right now, James. You know, the game's evenly poised between these two, and be interesting to see what happens. Oh, he's gone straight through.
Yeah, great turn of pace there. Coming through was Andrew Stanger, and he just clicked into another gear the moment he arrived near the defender and really put on the afterburners, and now we see the score go to 3-1, and they might have started a little bit slow here, the Devils, but they are now heating up as if they are in their very own kitchen in hell.
Yeah, they've come good, James. Like the first couple of plays that they had that earned that penalty were, you know, really good rucks. They got their hand out, they went forward. Earlier on in the game, they seemed to be going to their sub-box a fair bit, and they were sideways on their first 2 touches. So, you know, full marks to the coaching box over there in the Dubbo Devils dugout there. They've worked it out, and they realised the best way for these guys is to get their field position and, you know, go direct in the early counts. So well done to them.
So Wilson in an acting half now, fires it off for Hemming. Hemming back towards the middle and then hopping in and acting half himself. Wilson always looking to ask questions of the defence. Last play now. They've got a stacked short side here. Oh, they had an opportunity to keep going if they wanted. They'd actually worked the overlap but didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, he was looking for a little switch play there, and you'll see in the older age divisions, in the seniors, they throw a lot more switches than what the younger age groups do, because a lot of these people cut their teeth on playing 7-a-side touch, James. So you used to have to be able to throw late switches and do things like that to be able to breach the defensive line. So yeah, you'll see a lot of really, really cool skills like that when you watch these older age gentlemen.
Oh, Crowley off the left foot and then putting the afterburners on. Cameron Crowley is killing them out there. He's made them look foolish, and that's a great try.
Oh, he is a dead set superstar. Two tries in quick succession for Cameron Crowley, and he's definitely the heartbeat of this Dubbo Devils lineup.
He's Mr. Cool. He's even got the shades on whilst he's running out there. I don't know if I've seen too many players play with the sunglasses, but if you can pull it off like Cameron Crowley is doing, then go for it. More power to you. Now, here's a little trivia question for you as well, Carly Banks. I mean, you mentioned a lot of these players are used to playing 7-a-side touch. When exactly did we go to having that full transition to the 6-a-side?
Yeah, it began, I think, in 1996. We played 1995. We played State of Origin with 6-a-side. It was very interesting. Here we go.
Oh. And very much in the style of NBA. He says, get that rubbish out of here, bats it away. Looking for a ball pack to pop back on the inside. Rejection indeed. It's like me trying to score on a Friday night. It's rejection left, right and centre. Doesn't matter what dance moves I pull out. So they'll still get another set here.
That's where you're going wrong. Just go back to the side-to-side school dance shuffle.
What on earth is that?
I'll show you later.
Are we going back to 1995 for dancing as well now, are
That's exactly right. Show my age.
Oh, no. No comment. No comment. The quick touch comes. Here is Taree now with Graham Lees, who's looking to go all the way through. However, the touch is called. So back they come. You're right, it is late in the day. You know it's late in the day when you and I start getting a bit silly.
Yeah, no.
Happens every time.
You're silly. I'm just here to
here we go. Here we go.
Keep on the straight and narrow, James.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a stitch-up. Carly Banks knows exactly what she's doing, what she brings to the table. I'll hear nothing of the sort. Here they come now, the Dubbo Devils.
Great meters. Neil Webster took the team forward again, and Drew and Crowley. Cameron Crowley is getting himself set up again. He's leaving the field. I thought he was going to stay. He was going to have a little crack out of acting half, but no.
Instead left it for the likes of Rick Davis. So they've got plenty of big weapons out here between Webster, Davis and Crowley. They're causing all sorts of problems for the Flames' defence. They're very much fanning the Flames at the moment. Touch comes in here against Northam. And now with Thorne, who drives forward. Good meters on offer here as well for Thorne. They'll pick it up nice and quickly. A couple of dummies here as well. Hitting the line short. I'm looking to work for the strike dump. They won't get it on this occasion. Long pass comes. Does well to take it over the head, but I think they might call touch pass.
Yep. Yes, definitely.
So the changeover to come here for the Dubbo Devils. And as we take a quick little look at the clock for this one, we are beginning to run a little bit out of time here. So inside the final 10, the margin is 3. Dubbo Devils leading 4-1. Taree, you feel, need to be the next to score. The blueprint has been set by Dubbo. I know the best course of action is straight up through the guts. And Rick Davis is back out there now to try and capitalise on that, as is Peter Thomas, who puts on the big dummy and then picks up a few extra metres. Now the touch comes in. Thomas again, slowing things down. They'll look to work for that strike dump again.
Yeah, they really need to try and get as close as they can to that 7 if they can, just to put the Taree defenders under a little bit of pressure. Yeah, he's trying to get him out. No, last touch. We got to get a touch count right.
Eugene Bray certainly didn't on that occasion either, so he's left it behind to allow the Taree side little chance to work it away from their own end. Good footwork here, close to the line. As it's dropped off from Cato. Looking to link back up with him, just couldn't get the wrap around in time though. So they drive forward through Peter Lake.
That's a really good drive forward. They're getting a bit of momentum here. Coming to the back end, last touch.
Nice play now. Wilson is short side. He wants some support outside of him. He's dummy to literally no one. Maybe the referee can be on his team there because, unfortunately, Cato just couldn't get there in time. Wilson had tried to exploit a short side option and get a 2-on-1 situation, but the wraparound just didn't arrive when he needed it to as Crowley drives forward. Gets a nice little delayed pass. In fact, it's more than delayed. It's a touch pass. He's going to be pinged for that one, Crowley.
Yeah, it was a 50-50 call, but correct decision made by the referee on that occasion.
Well, the big dummy, and away they go here through Ether. And now pushing up through the middle is Rawwood. Touch coming in there from Burns. Still plenty of plays in this set here for the Taree Flames. As they head back toward the middle with Rawwood. Drops it off. Once more through Lees. Lees straightening things. Gets the quick strike dump here. Lees has them backpedaling. Great ball at the line. And a wonderful take as well from Hemming. Surely they'll award that. I don't think a touch came in time. Yes, they're all happy. And Taree, the Flames, are now burning quite brightly. 4-2. They've reduced the deficit.
Yeah, Lees and Hemming with a beautiful little quickie play close to the line. rolled him on, and he dived at the line and did the rest. And yeah, that's a quality touchdown, James, at any level. So well done to Taree, guys. What are we, 4-2?
Yeah, it just gives us a little bit of a sniff. It's 4 tries to 2, a margin of 2, and 7 minutes or so on the clock. They still need to be next to score, otherwise it might be a bit of a bridge too far.
He's
Crowley,
the danger man.
Yeah, there he is, back out there now. Crowley, the big dummy coming. Drops it off nice and quick. Throwing dummies left, right and centre. Most of their players here. Crowley once more in at acting half. Turns it back on the inside. Beautiful ball from Cameron Crowley, who has torn this Taree side to shreds.
Yeah, he's all class, isn't he, James? He picks up out of acting half. He takes on the defence short side, turns the ball back inside to the play the ball, who was trailing nicely to pick up the crumbs, and yeah, they've kicked out again.
I don't think I even have to ask you at this point who your man of the match is. I think we're both thinking the same thing. Cameron Crowley, he's really put his authority on this match.
Yeah, he certainly had a great game, but I also think we often see all the people scoring the tries, but the people that do all the work for them, like, that get them down the park, and everybody plays their role. And that's the great thing about our sport. If you're a winger, a link, a middle, everyone's got a function and everyone's got a role to play. And the really, really successful teams do it off the back of a total team effort. And these guys have been really good working for each other on both teams.
So Wilson provides the ball here for Wiseman, who dummies and continues to march upfield just by a few extra metres off the back of it. Long ball coming here once more. Into the hands of Wiseman, who steps off the left. Now Thorne. He'll go back to the mark and play it here for Wiseman, who's looking very likely since coming onto the field. Hasn't seen a great deal of time so far. Nice little evasive technique there from Watts. Wiseman tries for the short side. There's no one on his outside. He did dummy, hoping there might be a late call up for a supporting player, but no one arriving.
And you do see with senior men's and women's that there's a lot more running from acting half from a standing start than we see in the open and 20s divisions, because back in the day, again with those rules, you used to be able to score from acting half. So it's habits of a lifetime that you have to try to break down in this in this sort of modern game.
Might show my age a little bit here, but this is why I've decided not to pursue touch as a player, because I used to be nice and sprightly out of dummy half, and now I can't score from there anymore. Off it comes here to Webster.
Neil
Great
Webster.
Ball back on the inside. Oh, Webster, that is absolutely class. Eugene Bray follows through and gets the try, but put it down to Neil Webster. Beautiful play there, but they're not going to call it. They've taken it off him, the poor boy.
Let the boys play, ref. Wow, that's disappointing, but the Hunter Western Hornets connection there between Bray and Webster that's been honed over many, many years. It's that was just pretty to watch, James, and deserved the touchdown for mine.
Certainly did, but Webster unfortunately denied a glorious little try assist for Bray. So Taree might still have a little opportunity here to try and snag this one out of the fire. It's not going to happen on this play, though, as they simply drive forward through the run of Lees, who's already scored a try himself. Here they come with Crowley with a bit of room to move. This is danger for them. Crowley takes off. Oh, look at the pace from Crowley. Off the left foot. Go you, good thing. We're backing him down the straight. Oh, forget Farlap. It's all about Graham. Should I say Cameron Crowley? I've got too excited there. Cameron, good lad.
Yeah, what another piece of individual brilliance from Cameron Crowley. Puts the icing on the cake here late in the day, James. And, the Dubbo Devils are now looking like they're going to run away with this one.
Now 6-2 on the scoreboard, and believe it or not, Cully Banks, that brings up a hat-trick for the number 13, Cameron Crowley.
Yeah, and deservedly so. He's been something else out there for the Dubbo Devils. He's been the point of difference.
Hope this commentary isn't going to go to Cameron's head either. I know they're a bit more measured when they get into the seniors division. Sometimes we have a little feedback from some of the younger players who come and say, oh, did you hear that try that I got called the other day? But I don't think we'll hear that from Cameron. Although I wouldn't actually mind it. Take off the sunglasses and let us know what's what. So they'll roll the ball here. Taree, newbie, hops in at acting half and then wraps around. Quick play here for Lees. Short side Raiden, they've got plenty of numbers here. Oh, that's flick pass! Oh, yes, baby, but I think he's dropped it at the death.
Oh, no!
Oh, we've both gone up. We wanted it so badly.
That was champagne footy.
Oh.
I'm a big fan of the flick pass. It's my favourite pass in the game, and, that That was a beauty.
You and I were craving that, like you've had about 5 schooners and all of a sudden you find a KFC at 12:30 at night after going to the pub. That's how badly we wanted that to be a try. Forward they come now, the Dubbo Devils, about 20 metres away from the opposition try line. Last play now. Out it comes to Steve Davis. They keep promoting the footy. It's on here for Thomas. Oh, let it go, son. He won't need support. He puts on the big dummy and the afterburners. He puts the hat backwards. Oh, yes, sir, you are cool.
Oh, he did. He looked your way. He looked your way.
He did.
He did. He looked your way, James, and he turned the hat backwards. And
how did you just become Miss Gangster with, oh, yeah, he did? Carly Banks, what's happened to you? You've taken some silly sauce. There is full time.
Thank goodness it's full time,
we
James.
Probably need it. God, something happens when we get to the seniors division, I must say.
But what an entertaining game, James.
It was quality.
It was really, really good. And both these teams, they really gave everything they could out there. And, yeah, looking forward to seeing them later on in the competition tomorrow. James coming into finals.
Well, I'll tell you what, there might be a fun little highlights package from that game, that's for sure. And it'll be flick passes, it'll be Crowley going nuts, and it'll be the backwards hat to finish things. And at full time, this one does finish 7 tries to 2 over the Dubbo Devils. We're just having a little look at the attempted flick pass there. Oh, it nearly came off. It would have been truly beautiful. There it is.
What's wrong with that?
What a ball. What a ball it is.
What a beauty.
What have they called? It's a touch pass they might have called on that one. That's the only thing I can think of. It certainly wasn't forward.
Yeah, no, it was a beauty.
But look, they love that, and the boys are showing great camaraderie and also sportsmanship. Both sides meeting in the middle of the pitch. And we've got one final game to bring to you for day 1 here of the Country Championships in the heart of the Central Coast at beautiful Tuggerah. It'll be the Beresfield Bandits taking on the Newcastle Knights in the men's 20s division. Myself and Kelly Banks to bring you that one in about 5 minutes' time right here